Thanks for tuning in to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to give you guys my quick rendition or recipe of fried cabbage. So today I wanted some, I've been wanting fried cabbage. So this is my quick recipe. I've already cut up one large cabbage, already cut and washed it. You can cut it however big or small pieces you want it. I'm also going to add some carrots. Let me see, I'm going to turn my camera around. I'm going to add some carrots. Just some whole carrots that I'm going to cut at a diagonal. You can cut them however you want. Make sure you slice them like super thin so they'll cook fairly quickly. I also have some peppers, which I hate for food to go to waste. So in my refrigerator I had some leftover orange pepper, red pepper, and a yellow pepper. So you guys don't have to. You don't have to use pepper if you don't want to. Like I said, I just don't like to see food go to waste. So I'm just going to add it in. I only had like a little left anyway, so I'm just going to chop it up. I'm going to add that to my cabbage, to my fried cabbage. You can cut them however big pieces or small pieces you want. Just going to cut them in like little bite-sized pieces. It's a fairly quick recipe. Basically all you need, if you don't want to add anything else, you can just use cabbage. But like I said, I'm just going to throw in some carrots. Give it a little bit more flavor, a little bit more color. So I'm going to add these peppers. And usually I'll have onion, but I don't have a regular just gonna put those in there. I usually have a regular whole white onion, but I didn't have any today. So you guys do use, if you want to add onion, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. Like I say, this is just extra stuff I had laying around in my refrigerator. So I'm just gonna add these little green onions to it. Probably just gonna cut like I say, you can cut it however big or small you would like. Let me rinse these off real quick. You can use onion if you don't want to. You don't have to. I'm just going to cut this. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all this. It's about a handful because I'm only making enough for one person, so you don't really need that much. So I already got my onions and my peppers cut. I already have my cabbage cut and washed. And so let's move over to the next step. So let's move this over here. Hold on, let me get a... Basically, all you need is just what you're going to put in your cabbage. Switch my camera around real quick for you guys. Look, sorry about that. I'm a one-woman show, so production and all that stuff. So we come over to the stove, and what I have done, so if I can get this to sit up right here. Okay. I had some, what I'm going to add, you guys don't have to add this if you don't want to. I'm going to add a little bacon to mine, or you can add whatever meat you would like. I actually had some leftover bacon from breakfast, so that's what I'm going to put in here. And I'm actually going to use the bacon. I'm going to use the bacon grease. If you guys don't want to use the bacon grease, you can just add olive oil to your skillet or whatever type of vegetable oil you would like. Just add a little bit more so it won't stick. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put in just a little bit of minced garlic. Just a little bit, probably like a spoonful. You don't have to add it if you don't want, if you don't like minced garlic. But I'm just going to add just a little bit. Turn it down. So I'm just going to add a little minced garlic. I'm actually going to put the peppers and onions in. This is my, like I say, this is my quick version. So I added the onions and the peppers and the carrots. It might take the carrots a little longer to cook. If you want to pre-cook the carrots, I guess you can, but I'm not going to do all that. I like my stuff a little crunchy anyway, so. Look, it is already smelling delicious. Turn it up a little bit. So this is it doesn't really even take that long to cook. Like I say, you're just gonna try to get the carrots cooked a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to, after this cook for probably like a couple minutes, then I'm going to add the cabbage in. You can add water. You can add just a little water to it if you want, because the cabbages usually make their own water, so you don't want to have too much water in it. I'm just going to get just a tad. Matter of fact, I'm just going to pour. When I do that, I'll put it in there. So after letting that cook, that actually smells good. I could just mix it all together right now because it doesn't really take the peppers that long to cook. The only thing I'll say, like I said, is that the carrots, this probably will take a little while to crunch it up. So that's and then I'm going to add, like I say, you don't have to add any meat if you don't want to. If you want to do just a vegetarian way, just use the vegetables, the oil and stuff like that. You don't have to use the bacon fat or bacon grease like that. But I did because it's left over from the breakfast I had. So now I'm going to add, yeah, because my peppers, like I say, the peppers are already, like I say, I like to have my vegetables a little crunchy. I don't like to have them that soggy. So I'm going to add the cabbage. So, like I say, I try to cut it up. This is, like I said, this is only one. I'm only going to use one cabbage. If you're making, because it's gonna shrink down once you cook it and stuff like that. And like I say, cabbage makes its own water. You don't really have to add water to it, but you can, if you want, add just a tad bit, like a couple of teaspoons of water. So you just let that cook down. That way you can get more in the skillet. And I'm going to add just a little bit of seasoning. I'm just going to add some pepper. You can season it however you want. I'm going to add a little pepper. I'm going to actually use this pink Himalayan sea salt. I'm not going to add too much to it because this is the Himalayan sea salt is really it's salty, so I don't want it to be too salty. So I'm going to add, because I always add once it cooks down and once it's finished cooking. If you want a little bit more salt, you can, but I'm only going to use just a little bit. I'm going to add just a tad bit of garlic salt. This is the Lowry season. It has parsley mixed in with it, so I'm just going to add a tad bit of that. Like I say, you can add whatever seasoning you would like. I'm going to add a little paprika. Just give it just a little tad of color. So as it cooks down, you can stir it up a little bit so you can add more to the skillet. And what I did, I also have, I'm gonna have to wait for that to cook down a little bit so I can add more to it. Like I say, I'm using a I probably should have cut my cabbage a little smaller. After that cooked down a little bit, what I'm going to do, actually I had, like I say, I used the bacon, I used the bacon grease I had earlier because I had some leftover bacon, because I just wanted to give it that flavor. And I actually had a couple of strips of bacon left. It's already cooked, so like I say, you can add whatever meat you want to. This is, like I say, since this is already cooked and left over, I'm gonna wait until the cabbage is almost done, and I'm just gonna break this up. I'm just gonna break it up and add it to the cabbage. So good. It is already smelling delicious. So like I said, you don't have to add water, but I am going to add probably a couple of teaspoons of water. I thought I had some water in there. I just guessed. That might be a couple of teaspoons. I'm going to add a little water to it. Just a little bit. Oh my God, this looks and smells delicious already. So you can season as you go. Once the cabbage that you have in the skillet is already cooking down, you can just add more to it. I have a large size skillet, so what I'm going to do, because you see that it's already full, what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this simmer down, and then I'll come back and show you guys. So I'm just going to cover it so it can simmer down a little bit so I can add the rest of my cabbage, because I have a lot more. Have a little bit more to put in, because like I said, I only used one, it was a medium-sized cabbage, so I'm going to let this cook down for a few minutes. I will come back and let you guys see how it's turning out, so stay tuned for part 2. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, hit the notification so you will know when I am doing another video. Stay tuned.